can't actually get there, and you're stuck. There's a great term that's been used all over the place. This is water scrum fall, right? This is when you have an agile development team that is doing so well at going from idea to demo. But demos don't really provide business value. They don't provide organizational value. They're good for experiments, but you really need to roll into production all the way. And so when we think about application development within organizations today, we are reframing the architectures. We're talking about things like the microservices pattern. It's an evolution from service-oriented architecture. We're thinking about containers as the currency for modern platforms. And 12-factor applications as a set of design principles for what are the best ways to think about how we interact with the underlying systems that support our bespoke applications. We look for platforms that are ephemeral, that are scalable, that have the same level of agility natively built into them that our development teams have fostered for their own software engineering efforts. We need to be able to run in the cloud. Well, actually, we need to be able to run anywhere. Public clouds, private clouds, racks of bare metal servers that need to be automatically provisioned. We have to support any device. Now, frequently we talk about the rise of devices, laptops and iPhones and Android phones and tablets. They're all great, but that actually includes devices like a wind turbine. It includes devices like a jet engine or heavy industry mining equipment that's being produced by some of the companies in the heavy industry. We also need to be able to connect to legacy data, legacy APIs. So that's what Cloud Foundry is designed around. We've built a platform designed for applications and designed for rapidly innovating with software. We support all kinds of different devices coming in, not just HTTP-based protocols. We're rapidly expanding that. We're generically supporting TCP, but really we're looking at how do we support some of the industrial internet protocols like CoAP. It's a UDP-based protocol. We also support any infrastructure platform. Again, I mentioned multiple public clouds, private environments, whether it's OpenStack or whether it's commercial products like VMware's vSphere. The core of the system is really in three conceptual layers. The first is the Elastic Runtime. Our Elastic Runtime is where those applications live. Where you write a microservice, where's that going to live? It's responsible for taking code, building a container, and running that container, and then maintaining the health of that container. You can also just hand it a container. The second layer is the services. Now, this is one of the things that Cloud Foundry has as a really, really important strength. Cloud Foundry's services model is designed to support those applications having easy access to the things that they need to actually function. On one hand, you could think of that as databases, message brokers, cache clusters, but it gets much more interesting when you think about that in the context of tying into legacy platforms, their APIs, tying into other microservices within the same platform. So we have a very robust set of APIs and tools around that services layer. And the last is operations. So we talk a lot about provisioning applications and the time from taking a feature and getting it into production. But what happens on day 2, 3, 4, maybe even day 50? Is the system going to take care of that application for you? And perhaps even more importantly, is the system going to take care of itself? If an instance of an application goes offline, sure, you should self-heal around that. If a physical hardware node goes offline, your platform should also take care of that. And so CF's been designed around that. We're working very hard to build this software, to share it with lots of different organizations across multiple industries. These are just some examples. These companies are betting their business transformation on Cloud Foundry. You can see financial services leaders. You can see heavy industry leaders like Bosch. You can see the automotive industry. Mercedes-Benz is an example. Ford, there are others. General Electric is creating a whole platform strategy based on Cloud Foundry right now. They're really looking at how do they take the concept of right-sizing digital innovation and focusing on cycle time optimization to get those features out faster, reorganize around smaller teams, faster tools, and it seems to be working. Of their own volition, we've had Bank of New York Mellon and JP Morgan go to the Wall Street Journal, spend time with the journalists to explain how important CF was to them, how important the Cloud Foundry is to them, especially that it's in an independent foundation. It prevents vendor lock-in for them. We've also had a great success in national governments. Cloud Cloud.gov was launched by a division of the General Services Administration called 18F. 18F is running around the government trying to figure out how to help agencies service their constituents better. So Cloud.gov was launched, I believe, last year, based on Cloud Foundry, designed to help make your experience as a U.S. citizen better. We're also seeing the same type of innovation happening in Australia, the UK, South Korea, and we expect other national governments to participate. Now, with all this, we've got a lot of distributions. We launched a certification program in December to ensure consistency for developers and operators. We were really happy to actually have that get rolled out initially with 7 providers offering services that are certified. That means there's consistency between Pivotal Cloud Foundry, HPE Helion Cloud Foundry, SAP HANA Cloud Platform, IBM Bluemix, CenturyLink AppFog, Huawei Fusion Stage, and Swisscom Application Cloud. You can expect a lot more of the providers that offer CF-based services to be certified over the course of this year. And with that, I'll kind of close with a basic idea that we see a world of cloud computing that's ubiquitous and flexible, portable, interoperable, and vibrant and growing. But just as important, and I think Jim spent a lot of good time in this is a community of humans, and we focus on pragmatism, diversity, and being respectful to each other. So with that, thank you. Great.
All right, it's not just Cloud Foundry that's working on cloud computing at the LF. I'd like Chris Aniszczyk to join me on stage to tell you about our Cloud Native Computing Foundation and the Open Container Initiative. Come on up, Chris. You got 5 minutes for both of them.
Thanks.
I stole all your time.
No worries. Where's the clicker? All right. Why are we starting with CNCF? Well, I guess we'll start with CNCF. Thought we're going with OCI. So, all right. So, for those of you who know me, I have a particular fondness for embedding tweets in my presentations to kind of start things off. In the kind of cloud native space, and in just general the container orchestration space, how do we manage containers? There's been a lot of different technologies and approaches out there to do this. A lot of startups trying to
いらっしゃいませ。